Group racing again on Sunday at Sha Tin. It's the Centenary Vase Group 3 contest over the 1,800 metres. One of 10 races on the programme, 8 on the turf and 2 on the all-weather. A very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'll have it all covered here. I'm Angela Jeune. Please say I'm joined by our former analyst Paul Lally and race caller Tom Wood as well. Tom, and the feature Group 3 in name, but Group 1 quality about it.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. Terrific contest it is. Over the 1,800 metres, the likes of Exultant going around with furore. I don't think Columbus County is without a chance either. 2 times course and distance, a win in a second for him. And of course, we saw in the January Cup at Happy Valley a few weeks ago with Savvy 9 break his maiden status. Christoph Sumian was on board him, but this time round it's Wagner Borges.
Yeah, and that's form will be tested as well, with the horses behind him coming out as well. Paul, what are we looking at as far as the markets are concerned? Some interesting first starters and a nice jackpot too.
Yeah, really good, interesting first starter in race number 1. John Size has had some good luck with some of these good first starters this season. I think he's found another one here in the first. Now the jackpot, $5 million for the triple trio, so expecting that to get up to $10 million. So a decent jackpot as well for the triple trio.
OK, all right. There's plenty to get through with the 10 races. The 2 all-weather races are races 3 and 5 respectively, a Class 4 and a Class 3. Now we have Country Boy, unfortunately, not going round in race number 4, so he is replaced by Land Power, and Joe Moreira makes the straight switch. He was due to ride Country Boy as well. This is meeting number 42 of the season, so nearly at the halfway point. 8 turf races, B+2 course for the rail and the 2 on the all-weather. We start off, though, with a Class 4. We do have a Class 5, comes up as the second race. This is over the 1,200 metres. Flying on the Turf and Exponential both take the class drop here. Simply Spectacular, who was pretty spectacular on debut, but that debut was November 2019. Now with Michael Chang, he returns. Fantastic way he makes his debut for John Size, and Joe Moreira will jump from the inside gate. Vast Starlight has had 1 start so far, along with Strathmartin and the Submarine, also 1 start for them. He gets up in trip here. Vukan moves from Happy Valley to Sha Tin, and down to Fireball has been placed on his last 2 starts. Most recently, only a length and a half off Sight Success, unbeaten in 3 starts now. Now, Exponential and Kobe Opera, the 2 horses have spent some time at Chungfa. Tom, in the last 30 days, what are we looking at as far as the speed map is concerned?
Well, there is no clear and obvious leader for the first race of the day, but one would expect Fantastic Way. The way he's been jumping in his trials to potentially take up the front running position and try and make all from a Fireball, who has been there or thereabouts in his last couple of runs for Wagner Borges. Chiron on the inside there, flying on the turf. Strathmartin there with Tony Millard and Blake Shin. Vukan down on the inside. It looks a little tricky for Happy Warrior out of gate number 14. Should mention Simply Spectacular as well. He's buried there midfield.
Here is Flying on the Turf. Now he's pushed out in this piece of work, as you can see, was really asked to do something. Now he's the downgraded horse. He's come down from Class 3 into Class 4, so he'll find this a little bit easier. Simply Spectacular, I thought would show him. He's changed stables now. That's him closest to us, 425, Simply Spectacular. Look, he's had a tendon injury. That's why we haven't seen him for so long. He's put on 26 pounds as well, and has been missing his start. So there's a couple of queries there. This is the first start, a Fantastic Way. He's had the 3 trials. He's 11.08 pounds. Looked very good in those trials as well. John Size and Joe Moreira have had, might have unearthed another one there.
OK, we'll have a look at that trial in a moment, along with Simply Spectacular as well. We'll start off, though, Tom, with Vukan, who debuted at Happy Valley over the 1,200 metres and was probably taken off his feet a little bit, but stayed on quite nicely.
He sort of got back about midfield, and he was pushed on down the side, and he looked a little bit green in the straight here, but it was certainly the last 100 metres where he was doing his best work late. He just looks to be plugging away there, but then really picks up quite nicely late, Paul. He has since had a trial, and he ran 7th in that trial, but certainly his best work late there.
Yeah, definitely. Now, he's I made him a long shot there because his work leading into it had been very good. He's going to stick over the 1,200 though, but coming to Sha Tin's a positive, I think, for him. OK, that's Vukan. Fireball, Paul. Now, he seems to have returned in better heart so far this season. His 2 runs this campaign, he's placed in both of them. Yeah, and he's run really well, and he's run behind Sight Success, and we know Sight Success has gone on, and he looks a really top horse, Sight Success, and the placing before that was behind Harmony and Blessed, another really progressive horse. So he's coming out of strong form races. He's going well this season, so he's one of the major chances for me.
Yeah, a couple of handy runs from him coming in too with this. He was sort of on the cusp, he didn't quite make it, and he is down on a mark of 43, so getting perilously close to dropping in grade down to Class 5 as well.
OK, that was Boxing Day. We're going to have a look at another trial, in actual fact. sorry, this isn't Boxing Day at all. This is back in January. This is up at Chung Fa though, Tom.
Yeah, this is exponential now. He's dropping in grade here as 2 wins have come in this grade. He did seem to struggle a little bit up in Class 3, so I think he's certainly better suited here. You can see him on the outside in that club's colours. He is sporting the cheek pieces for the first time. Pushed out to win this trial, Paul, but I think dropping in grade's a positive for him.
Yeah, and he has won over the course and distance, as you say, and he does get the apprentice claim, so he does come down in weight as well.
OK, still at the trials here, and I meant to check with you guys. What did we call this, Chiron in the end? I think we did, didn't we? Went with Chiron in the end. He was 7th on debut behind Master Fay. Gets the cheek pieces on this time.
It wasn't a bad trial, I thought, from this horse, Chiron. Now, we went round off at 9.6 first up in that run behind Master Fay. Cheek pieces, tongue tie go on here. You can see Christophe Soumillon riding him in this trial. Thought he went to the line quite nice under here, under a nice enough hold, Paul. Yeah,
it was a nice trial, and Christophe sticking with the horse as well. So, again, some positives for him as well, and he has had that experience. Interesting, they're putting the cheek pieces on and the tongue tie on second start.
OK, this is the first starter, Paul. Fantastic Way. He's a 3-year-old by Swiss Ace. This is his most recent trial when they went to the front with him.
Yeah, and look, it was a really nice trial. Being by Swiss Ace, they do like this surface, but he's trialled well on the turf as well. Really nice trial from this horse. It went to the line very strongly, I thought. So, look, I think he can debut here with a win.
Yeah, so do I. He's come up shortish in the market, hasn't he? Fantastic Way. NZB yielding for $100,000, and he travelled well on that trial to beat home. I think that was Silver Express there to his outside. But 3 trials for a win and 2 seconds for Fantastic Way. I think he's ready to do something first up.
All right, well, Simply Spectacular was ready to do something first up as well, but that was well over a year ago now. He's now with Michael Chang, but we were at Trackwork to catch up with jockey Zach Purden.
Zach, Simply Spectacular. We haven't seen him at the races for over a year. He's had a couple of tendon injuries. You've ridden at the trials recently. How's he felt?
He feels pretty good to me. His trial up the straight I thought was pretty nice. Then he did things wrong around the corner on the dirt. He missed the start, never really got into it. And wanted to hang in the straight, which has been a trait of his all the way through, and probably gives you some idea about why he's got those leg problems, because he's always trying to get off you know, the issues that are affecting him. But I jumped him out on Thursday and I thought he went quite nice. So, you know, for him the start's important. If you can get that right, he's a chance.
You won on him on debut, his only race start that he had back in November of 2019. Has he always felt like a horse with natural ability?
Well, sure, he showed that. It's not easy for horses to win first time out in Hong Kong, and he did that in fairly good fashion. I know it wasn't a big margin, but you know, it was his first start and he was always going to improve being a big horse off that. But injury curtailed his career, and here we are a little bit further down the track.
So you mentioned how important the start is, but fitness-wise and that return from injury, all of those sort of things, what are your expectations for the weekend with him? I
would have liked him to have one more trial, but Michael's of the thought that, you know, injury could pop back up at any time, and whilst he's got him near enough to where he wants him to be, he's happy enough to go to the races. So I think he's in good enough form, but you know, he's certainly come on for it, but he's there in decent shape.
Ed Sadler with the questions there at Trackwork. So Simply Spectacular deserves some consideration, but I think you're with Fantastic Way, Paul, eh?
Yeah, I am. I just think he's been well prepared leading into this, and he looks a really nice recruit here. So he's on top. Vukan, we saw that his run at Happy Valley, very good, hit the line strongly. Fireball has been running very well in some strong form races. I wanted to put Simply Spectacular in there for 4th. He is up 26 pounds from his last win, so there is a cautionary tale there, but there is obviously ability. He's 1 from 1. 7, 12, 14 and 3.
I think we'll be seeing another John Size PPG stepping out to first up to a win here with Fantastic Way, horse number 7. He's on top. I've got Chiron in for second because I did like him first up. He went off at 9.6, boxed on fairly, but did like that recent trial. So I think he's come on for it, and the gear changes there with him as well. Simply Spectacular. And I've thrown an Exponential. He's at 9s in the market. I think he can improve back down in Class 4. So 7, 5, 3 and 2.
Yeah, I think Fantastic Way could easily could make a winning debut here, particularly drawn barrier 1, and could control things from the fronts.